and he shall not be able to hide himself. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well. Peace and blessings to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect. Shalom Barakatham. This is speaking on all of the news that's coming out. Amalek, the small hats, the so-called white man, okay, who we know biblically to be the Edomites. All right, there's non-stop infighting if you've been paying attention. All right, the even more later news that came out was the guy Shapiro. Okay, he goes onto a debating platform, and it's like she looked like a Jake. She might not be, who knows, but she's questioning them on whether or not are you white. Okay, and this is a spirit change in the earth, because this has always been a valid question, but now you're starting to see people question it. You're starting to see people go through that line of questioning with vigor. Okay, and why are they doing that? Because the game is up. The covering cast is being weakened. Okay, and the witchcraft that they've been putting over everybody is starting to wear off, and this is why they're going so hard on terms like anti-S, emitism. You should know what I'm talking about. Why are these things? Why is he going so hard and having all of these punitive measures going on? Punitive goes into the word punishment. Okay, meaning there are repercussions now if you talk against a certain rhetoric or a narrative. All right, you can be debanked. You can be fired from your job. Okay, and Trump has it on the books, or he'll even be able to lock you up. Okay, and the reason that's happening is because he can no longer hide himself. Just like the book of Jeremiah, the 49th chapter says, I will make Esau bare, he shall not be able to hide himself. Well, this is what you're seeing right here. He's like a roach. You've moved the table that he's hiding behind, or the couch he was hiding behind, and he's running all over the place, man. He doesn't know where to go. And so when he gets in that mode, just know, more violence is on the way. Okay, Netanyahu, his government, even his own government wants him gone, because he's going to wars that he can't win. And he's ultimately super corrupt as well. Like if you look into his own party, they're by their own measure they call the people that are the ruling party in that state now T-words, T with an error. Okay, the Likud party. Look them up. Okay, they've been known to be psychopaths, man. Okay, and so they've been want them out, but see those small hats over there, they hate those people over there in Gaza even more. So they've been tolerating him. Okay, but once the war is over, Netanyahu is likely out of there. He's likely going to be charged and prosecuted. That's how bad his own people feel. So we got to look at these things and take comfort, because this is the house of Esau being divided. Okay, because who's bringing out the most information on these guys, man? It's their own people, man. You got Kim Iverson, you got Tim Pool, you got Redacted, you got the Jimmy Dore Show. All right, all of these various news platforms, alternative news platforms, are now coming out against these people on a consistent basis. It's like nonstop, not letting up, man. All right, so you got to come into the time and know, man, that when these people, when it starts to become known in the earth who's not the people, then they're going to look for who are the people. Okay, so get ready for people to wake up at a faster rate, man, because it's going to beg the question, well, they're obviously not the people, because I believe in the Bible. Let's just say you're a regular Jake, you believe in the scriptures, and then you never knew who was who in terms of biblical identities. All right, and your whole life, your childhood, you've been taught that a certain group of people were the chosen, but now you can clearly and obviously see that that's not true. So it begs the question, well, who are they? Okay, now the Christian church is trying their best to make it seem like that don't matter. Okay, like the Lord just made a covenant with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob just for it to not matter later on. Well, no, that's not true. Okay, the Lord didn't make a covenant with Abraham in vain, and then with Isaac, and then with Jacob. Okay, and then even further with King David. Okay, that his throne would last forever, be established forever. Okay, he didn't make those covenants just so every other nation can be saved. So that begs the question, well, who are the Israelites? Okay, and this is going to be it's already a good question, but it's going to be a real good question when more information starts to come out on these guys, and I believe that it will. Okay, I think there's going to be emphatic proof that they're not the people, and I think there's going to be emphatic proof that we are. Okay, even if the Lord has to come down and show it through miracles. Okay, we don't know exactly how it's going to go down, but eventually people are going to know who the wicked is first. Okay, and then we know for sure in our deliverance that they're going to know who we are, because they're going to be amazed, pursuing Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. They're going to be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation. Okay, and why are they going to be amazed? Because the people that are chosen would not be at the top. They would not be owning half the NFL teams and NBA. All right, they would not own and run all of the banks in every major country. Okay, they run all the monetary policy, the fiscal policies in all of these different countries. Okay, they can complete control over the media, which is really, the media is really just the arm of the CIA and the intelligence communities. Okay, which they run. Okay, they're everywhere, man, and there's all kinds of information. People are starting to go deep now, man. Even that bughead nigga Deacon went and brought out the book of the history of Jewry. All right, which that's a $3,000 book if you try to go buy it, and there's a reason for it, because their own people actually tracked them throughout history, man, and it had to be them. The Lord set it up beautifully. It had to be them, because they changed their name so many damn times, man. You try to go through, my mother goes into, she's into genealogy work now, where she tries to find, your lineage as far back as she can go. And the amount of headaches just to go back 4 or 5 generations is crazy, man. Your name changed, your slave name was this, you go to this plantation, they burn the records, but they filed it over there, and you got to call libraries and different things to track things down. That's how lost you can get with your identity, and that's why our people had a habit of meticulously recording these things, man. Our registry was on point, man. Okay, we had it even when we were coming back from the Persian captivity. I believe it was the Levites and Ezra, the book of Ezra, the 2nd chapter, I believe. The Levites are coming back, and so they had the scroll. They said, well, what tribe are you from? Are you from the tribe of Levi, according to the father? Okay, so we tracked all of these things because genealogies matter, and it's a very difficult thing to do. And everybody else was like whatever about theirs, So when you look at how often these people change their names, and then they're embedding themselves in different parts of government, the people it requires a lot of study and diligence to track you, and that's what the Lord had their own people do. Okay, the Nation of Islam, they had a book that came out, and there was a lot of sources of their own people. Okay, that tracked how many slaves they owned, how many ships and voyages did they fund. Okay, the East India Company, I forgot the Dutch one. But those big massive conglomerate companies, which back then they would have been on the scale of like a BlackRock, because that's how much the assets, we were assets, as slaves. That's how much it was worth back then. Okay, and it's no different today, man. So all of these things are now coming out, man, rapidly, man. Okay, and see, there's a reason why they're rushing to get this AI thing, because they want that to be the new source of truth. And see, they can manipulate AI from the back end, because all of these women, especially these women, they're already addicted to just asking it questions, personal, intimate questions. Okay, it feels like a person is talking to you, and it has like a positive vibe to it too. It'll agree with you more than it disagrees with you. Okay, it's very reluctant to correct you on a narrative that you're doing. That's why you got to be careful, when you going into Chat GPT or whatever, because it does have a bias to what you're trying to ask. Okay, and so they want AI to take over because the information is too far out there, man. But as the scriptures say, he will not be able to hide himself. Okay, and he's going to be utterly made bare and embarrassed in front of the whole world, and it's going to end up with blood, a lot of blood being spilled. Okay, World War III is on the horizon, and it's already back in the news that he's back at it, trying to start it with Iran again. okay? He wants that war with Iran so bad. He basically started it, you know? But America was able to intervene and slow him down, and it came out that the only reason they stopped was because they didn't have enough ammunition, man. Stupid, you know? So that shows you America doesn't even have the readiness capability that it claims to have, okay? It's got a lot of offensive power, but it has absolutely no defense, okay? The city of unwalled villages. So, you know, all of that to say, you know, get ready for the real identities to be revealed over the coming, you know, weeks, months, Lord willing, not years, you know. But if that's what it takes, then that's what it takes, you know. But either way, this guy is going to be exposed, man. There's no way you can believe as a conventional Christian that those are the people. Looking at what they're doing, when you look at prophecy, okay. And now these evangelicals are about to lose their damn mind. You know, the black church is certainly losing their mind. I got to do a lesson on that later. That rebellious Christian woman that tried to, you know, shout down the prophets, you know, because they're mad and they're butthurt that they're losing members. But we're not even competing with y'all, man. You know, that's another topic. But keep putting the prayers up for the document that they're sincere, and that they keep putting their prayers up and curses on this place, man. Because these people deserve it. All right, we're sick of being, you know, looked down on as the dregs of society, knowing who we really are. You know, we gotta be looked down on as peasants. You know, when we're the ones really telling you who you are, man. Okay. So keep putting those prayers up, because we're almost out of this thing, man. You know, we'll see what news develops. You know, I could foresee something major going down by the fall. You know, especially on the World War III front. So, you know, we'll see. Stay tuned. Lord willing, this is edifying. Call for Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Bahashim Rachakudah Shalom. Come Yashua.